Clark met with booze tonight in Westfield. She held a town hall there, but as Fox 59's Hannah Adamson shows us, many of those in attendance left this conference center frustrated.
They think that you're not paying attention and that you'll just go along with it, but people are fed up. Here's a scene outside of mega Republicans in Westfield, Indiana, and it got even more out of control inside.
Do your job! Do your job! Do your job!
Americans from all political parties, Democrats, Republicans, independents, and even people who are not political at all, were letting Donald Trump and MAGA and the entire Trump regime know how they're feeling. No more dodging, no more excuses. Politicians are getting called out, and it's happening everywhere. Town halls, protests, walkouts. People are demanding change, and it's getting harder to ignore. Watch this.
Dozens of protesters who couldn't get in, chanting. Dozens more walking out well before the town hall came to a close.
Supreme Court, because it was passed in our service, and that is an issue.
Yes, I guess it is going to wind up at the Supreme Court, but it's because Congress isn't doing their job.
They're not doing anything.
Let's start with what went down at this Republican town hall in Indiana. It was something. Check this out.
You sit aside way in the other country, not getting here in the country. So there is no due process if you come here illegally because you violated the law. Period. You violated the law. You are not entitled to due process. Legal and these people violated the law.
So at this town hall, the audience is just not having it. The moment the speaker started dodging questions, rambling about Elon Musk and Donald Trump, instead of addressing real concerns, people just started walking out. No patience for the usual distractions. Look at this moment right here.
Because she's going to get hit by lightning for all the lies that she
But this is draft from Congressional Budget Office. Actually, a lot of Democrats don't like, and Republicans don't. So if you don't like, and actually, listen, CBO is not perfect.
Now, what's interesting is that a lot of politicians don't even hold town halls anymore. Some haven't faced their constituents in decades. Susan Collins, a Republican senator from Maine, hasn't held a town hall in over 20 years. So, at an event where she was very noticeably absent, people took the chance to call her out. Watch this clip.
Indivisible says that Republican Senator Susan Collins, who represents the blue state of Maine, is up for re-election in 2026 and hasn't had a town hall for Maine voters in over 20 years. Here's what one voter asked Senator Collins' empty chair last night.
My question for you is very similar to so many people have asked you tonight. Where have you been?
Then we've got Virginia's Lieutenant Governor, Winsome Sears, who tried holding a town hall, probably expecting a friendly crowd. That did not go as planned. She made some comments that basically dismissed people losing their jobs. Like, oh well, happens all the time, you guys. Having no empathy and no solutions. Here's what she had to say.
Now, I'm hearing about Doge and all of that, and yes, we don't want folks to lose their jobs. We have over 250,000 jobs that we've created since we've been in office. So, if you've lost your job, and how many here has ever lost a job? Oh, you mean it's not unusual? It happens to everybody all the time? Okay. And the media is making it out to be this huge, huge thing. And I don't understand why.
Now compare that to the other side of the aisle. Some politicians are still out there holding town halls, facing their constituents, and actually engaging with them.
Let me say this in close. I want you all to know that the reason why I'm able, honestly, to get up in the morning and just fight and feel like I can take this on and I can call Elon Musk out and I can take on Donald Trump and get all crazy with Marjorie Taylor Greene and push back. Listen, they've tried. Nancy Mace is trying to censure me. Donald Trump is trying to arrest me. Elon Musk has promises in a primary in the next election. And what I say, like, if these are my enemies list, we're probably doing something right. We're probably doing something right.
Congressman Robert Garcia, for example, held a packed event where he got a standing ovation. Not because he was playing it safe, but because he was actually listening and fighting for his district. Here's the moment. And it's not just him. There are leaders across the country showing up, taking questions, and standing their ground. Whether you agree with everything they say or not, that's what democracy should look like. Leaders who aren't afraid to answer to the people who elected them.
So no more playing nice. In my opinion, just mine alone, Chuck Schumer needs to step aside, resign.
One moment that really stood out came from Senator Chris Murphy's town hall, where a young girl named Charlotte asked about free lunch programs being cut. She wasn't thinking about politics. I mean, she's a little kid. She was thinking about kids who might go hungry. And that's what it should be about, right? Policies that actually help people. Watch this exchange.
My name is Charlotte. I wanted to say that next year they said that they were going to take away free lunch for all. But I think that they should keep that policy because I don't want my friends to go hungry in school or have to be embarrassed by telling their teacher or the lunch lady.
So, Charlotte, for a second. Okay, I'm going to embarrass you for a second. So, that was like the most beautiful question that I've ever heard. Because what you said is that you're thinking every single day of other kids, right? Of kids who might not have it as good as you, right? And when we think about why we exist in this world, right? We exist in this world to help other people, don't you think? Yeah, to help people who are less fortunate than us. And I think why all these people are here today is because they want to live in a world where we have a government that looks out for everybody, right? That looks out for everybody, regardless of what race you are, or what religion you are, or how much money you have, that we have a government that respects everybody. And everybody in this room here is going to decide when they go home tonight how much energy they're going to put in to trying to fight for that world. And I bet you, because of your question, because you were so bold and courageous to stand up here on behalf of the other kids that go to your school, I bet you everybody in this room is going to work a little bit harder to make that kind of world that you're asking us to believe in. I don't have any better way to end this campaign than to just give you a big high five. Thanks, everybody.
Now, before we continue, if you're enjoying this discussion, please take a second to subscribe to the channel, hit the like button, and drop a comment below. I would love to hear your thoughts on this. Okay, so at the end of the day, this is what we're up against. Politicians who have trouble listening and being there for the very people who elected them. And people are really paying attention. They're calling it out. They're walking out when they're being fed nonsense. They're asking the tough questions, even when the people in power don't want to answer them. And speaking of policies that impact people, let's talk about the Trump tariffs, particularly how they affect Canada. The latest Trump tariff news is making waves, and with concerns about economic impact, trade relations, and how Canada is responding.
President Donald Trump declared Wednesday the most important day in American history, calling it a day of economic independence.
You see the numbers. The numbers are so disproportionate. They're so unfair. At the same time, we will establish a minimum baseline tariff of 10%. You notice that on the chart. And that'll be on other countries to help rebuild our economy and to prevent cheating.
With the Canadian election of 2025 coming right up, these issues will be front and center in political discussions.
We subsidize a lot of countries and keep them going and keep them in business. In the case of Canada, it's close to $200 billion a year.
Stay tuned for more updates on this and other key topics in Canadian news overall. We also cannot ignore what's happening with Tesla and Elon Musk. His latest interview has everyone talking, especially after he addressed concerns about stepping down and the direction of the Tesla stock.
Billionaire suggesting his work for the administration may be wrapped up by the time he hits the 130-day limit as a so-called special government employee.
His comments on the Wisconsin protests and Tesla's future strategy have sparked debates across the industry. Here's a key clip from that interview.
And I think it might be the biggest revolution in government since the original revolution. I think we will have accomplished most of the work required to reduce the deficit by $1 trillion.
So what do? We keep holding them accountable. We don't let them dodge, deflect, or disappear. We show up, we pay attention, and we make sure our voices are heard. If you're with me on that, make sure you're subscribed, hit that like button, and drop a comment below. Let's keep the conversation going. Thanks for watching.